Are you ready to find out what food freedom really looks like and how you can find it too? I've lost a total of 59 pounds at 55 years old, and I was on that binge and restrict cycle. The addictive foods would call to me all the time, and if I would have them in my house and I would taste it, I had to finish it all. Literally, if I put a certain food back in the cupboard or back in the fridge and I walked away, I would think about it all day long until I got it out of the fridge or cupboard and ate the rest of it. It just was this cycle of not feeling good about myself and really feeling ashamed of my behavior around food and feeling like something was wrong with me, that I was broken. And I just knew something had to be done. I was truly frustrated with myself and feeling depressed, defeated, and depleted around food, and feeling like I was trapped, enslaved really, in this addictive cycle where food was concerned. And I would often binge and then restrict myself so much that I would just have to binge again to get enough calories to sustain myself. It just wasn't a healthy way to be living or being in the world. And to say I wasn't happy would be an understatement. I was just really at a low point where food was concerned. When I finally decided that I had to make a change, I really found the way of eating that would work for me. And for me, that was whole food, plant-based, low fat. And once that decision was made, it was like I felt immediately like the ties that bind that addictive behavior, it just already started to loosen. And it was because perimeters were set. Like, it is this wonderful thing that when we give ourselves boundaries and guidelines and perimeters, we're just able to have freedom within those perimeters. It seems counterintuitive, but the freedom lies within the structured guidelines. Once I had the guidelines, I figured out what kinds of food would work for me. And so, just like I said, those perimeters, within that, I could have fun with all the different whole plant foods that were low in fat. And I could make recipes from them. I could eat them plain on their own, however I wanted to, just as long as I stayed in those guidelines. After having the what, like what I was going to do, the whole food, plant-based, low fat, I decided to give myself 30 days. I knew I had to detox from this food. Like, there was no way around it. I was addicted to these highly processed, highly palatable, high fat, sugary, salty foods. And so I knew in the beginning I needed time for my palate to cleanse and for me to finally be free of those addictive foods and for my mind to be clear, really, to make decisions around food that would be supportive for me. This was really key. Committing to those first 30 days for me was the foundation that set me up for success. Next, after I ensured my palate was cleansed and I really had detoxed from those addictive foods, I told myself, and really from the beginning, I told myself, nothing is off limits. I'm just choosing not to eat it right now. And for me, having that in my mind, because for so many years, I had done that never again, right? I'm never again gonna eat this food. I'm never again, let me binge out and go to my favorite restaurant and have all this, have like my last celebration weekend, and I'll never eat it again. And I knew I didn't want to do that again. I didn't want to fall into those old behavior patterns. So I told myself, and I still tell myself, nothing is off limits. I just choose not to eat it. This was really freeing because I wasn't at the whim of every craving. Like, I knew if I wanted to eat that food, I could eat it. But I knew how good it felt to be detoxed, not live in this addictive state, and not be enslaved to these kind of foods, that I just chose, and I still choose not to eat those foods that keep me in that unhealthy place. It's really been quite empowering to allow myself really the freedom to say I can have any food I want, but I choose not to. Even when Starchy husband asks, or he'll say sometimes like, oh, I forgot you can't have that. I'll always correct him. I always say, it's not that I can't have it, it's that I choose not to. And to me, that comes from a place of empowerment rather than a place of victimhood, where I felt before like a victim to these addictive foods. I don't feel that way anymore. I feel like I have power over these addictive foods, and that in each moment I choose how I want to feed and nourish this body. And when those cravings come, like if a craving should rise up, you guys, it really, I know in that moment, it's not about the food. And I can slow it down enough now, 17 months in, I can slow it down enough just to ask myself, what's really going on here? What is really the feeling that I'm searching for here? And how do I want to nourish this feeling? Do I want to stuff it with food? And honestly, the answer is no. I want to face these feelings, notice what they are, and meet myself with kindness and compassion around it. Another thing I do is I take it one meal at a time, one day at a time. This has been so key for me because I can handle the next meal in front of me. And just like I said earlier, it's not about never having, it's about what am I having for my next meal? And how can I eat in a way that nourishes me in living my most healthy, vibrant, energetic life? And that's key for me because I look at it like these two pathways that I always have available to me. And the food that I choose to eat is supporting either pathway. And I know that if I eat those highly processed, addictive foods, sugary, fatty, salty, all of that, then I am choosing this pathway to feeling the way I was feeling before, just living a half life and feeling truly downtrodden in the way I was living, exhausted, lack of clarity, like all the stuff. If I eat those foods, that's where I'll be. I'll be right back there again. And so if I eat the foods, the whole food, plant-based, low-fat, nourishing foods, beans, potatoes, rice, veggies, then I know I'm supporting my most healthy, vibrant, energetic life. And to me, that takes the decision out of it because I love living this way. Like I love having energy every day. I love being excited about life and showing up for myself in a way where I just feel healthy and vibrant. Like that's the way I want to live now. And that's what it comes down to for me. Why would I choose any other way? There's no food that tastes that good. None. And especially those highly processed, highly palatable foods, like even thinking about it now, it just makes me feel heavy in spirit, not even in body, just in spirit. Like the weight loss is a byproduct. I don't want to feel bad anymore. And so that's the choice I make at every meal, one meal at a time, one day at a time. And each meal, it's just easy to make that choice. I want to eat those foods that nourish me. And now it's become a habit. I've eaten so many meals that way that it is habit for me to eat whole food, plant-based, low fat. Another thing I've done is I've really released other people, and specifically those closest to me. I've released them to have their own food journey. I've just released that concern for them and their journey and allow them to have their own experience so that I can have my experience. And that really has been powerful in allowing me to focus 100% on me where my food is concerned and not be worried about their food. As a people pleaser and a mom, a grandma, like all the things, I can really be all up in everybody's business. And it's allowed me to just really be in my own business around food. And I don't have to be concerned about their food. I can let that go. If I have to cook food for my grandkids, I'll do that. And I let them eat their food. And then I know I have my food in the fridge and I just heat that up. Also, I know what foods are triggering for me, and I just choose not to eat those foods. Abstinence, that has been key for me, just completely abstaining from those foods. I'm not a moderation girl. Like to have a little bit in, just a little bit of something every single day, that is not me. I know that about myself. And so for me, I just have to completely abstain because if I have a little bit of something, I'm going to be thinking about it that whole day, and then the next day, and then the next day, and on it will go until that little thing has turned into a big, huge thing. And before you know it, my brain is hijacked again, and I'm off living this life that doesn't feel good. Bottom line, you guys, it just doesn't feel good. And so I know these foods that trigger me, and those are the highly processed, sugary, fatty foods. And for me, I've even realized that some of the plant foods that some would consider healthy, especially the higher fat ones or dried fruits, dates, those types of things can be triggering for me. They can lead me, maybe I don't eat the whole thing of whatever it is I make that day, but I will want it again tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And it will just give me that feeling of not the opposite of freedom. The word I think of is enslaved, right? It makes me feel like I'm a slave to those foods because when my mind gets hijacked and that's all I'm thinking about, then that is not freedom to me. And so, really looking at those foods that trigger that within me. Now, I do have to say, when I cook a pot of my white bean chili, like, oh my gosh, I love it. It is so good, you guys. I love eating my white bean chili with a potato. I just had that for lunch and some veggies. But when I am full and satisfied with my white bean chili, I am done eating. Like, that's it. Whereas those ultra processed, sugary, fatty foods, I could just continue to eat and eat and eat until I just feel sick. And it doesn't make me feel good in my body or in my mind. And finally, I no longer catastrophize if I eat something off plan. I don't treat it like it's the end of the world. Like I said earlier, I can have anything I want. I can have anything, any food out there I want, I can have. I just choose not to have certain foods. And if there's a food that's kind of a gray area for me, or it's not, I haven't determined that it's a trigger food, and I eat off plan, that's fine. It's no big deal. And you know what? I move on. And that is a big deal for me because before, I would not move on. I would stay stuck and I would say, oh, well, since I ate this off plan, I might as well eat off plan for dinner and I might as well eat off plan for the whole weekend. And that would turn into a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 years, whatever it was. I would just fall into this. I blew it. So I'm just going down that rabbit hole. And I don't do that anymore. If I eat something off plan, I get right back to eating whole food, plant-based, low fat immediately, right away. And it feels so good. If this resonated with you, sister, I get it. And that is why I created the Starchy Sister 30-Day Reset. It's an ebook that I recently wrote, and I'll put all the information down in the description box below. And it's truly what I did to break that cycle of addiction. The guidelines are there. All the information is there that you need to break free from that addictive cycle and to step in your own food freedom, living your most healthy, vibrant, energetic life, because that's what I want for all of us. I feel too good not to share it with anybody who will listen, all my starchy sisters out there. And one thing I know for sure is this path may not always be easy, but it is always 100% worth it. Stepping into food freedom and living our most healthy, vibrant, energetic life. I love it, you guys, and I love you. I believe in you. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. So much love. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'll see you next time.